Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I want to take a look at a classic. This is Mickey Mouse, number 247 from 1989 by Gladstone Publishing. And it reprints a story going back to the Golden Age. This is the story of The Land of Long Ago, Part 1, from 1941. And I presume that this was originally printed in the Mickey Mouse comic strip. This was scripted by Merrill Demaris, with the plot and pencils by Floyd Gottfriedson, with inks by Bill Wright. Okay, this looks like a fun little thing. You see Mickey and Goofy hanging on for dear life to the neck of a long-necked dinosaur. I guess that makes it the Land of Long Ago. Okay, and Floyd Gottfriedson was from 1905 to 1986. He's an American cartoonist best known for the Mickey Mouse comic strip. He worked on Mickey Mouse from 1930 to 1975 when he retired. That was 45 years. It was over half of his life. And he worked on Mickey. His work on Mickey is comparable to the Carl Barks work on the Duck stories, which is Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge. Because when he took over, Disney himself was doing the writing of the strip. That's when he started working on it. It's 1930. It had already been around for a couple years, and whether it was his idea or Disney's or what, I do not know, but they started telling more adventure stories. Of course, there's still humor in there. You know, it's Mickey Mouse, gotta have humor. But they were humorous adventure stories, and often involving Goofy. It's just like Carl Barks did with the Duck characters. You had Donald Duck, and then later, of course, Uncle Scrooge and Donald and the nephews. And while they had many stories that were just straight humor, they really had a lot of really great adventure stories with humor in it, which is what I liked as a kid. And that's part of the reason why for the animated shorts, I preferred the Warner Brothers characters, like my old pal Bugs Bunny right here. But for the comics, I preferred the Disney characters because they had adventures, funny adventures. It was Carl Barks did great stuff with that, and this guy Gottfriedson did this with Mickey Mouse. And of course, which carried over into the comic books, a lot of the comic books, and of course, then later Don Rosa, who fell in love with Carl Barks and his Uncle Scrooge, did magnificent work with Uncle Scrooge and other duck stories, sending them on wild and funny adventures. Gottfredson was born into a Mormon family in Utah, and as a child he suffered an arm injury in a hunting accident, and he became interested in cartooning while housebound with a long recovery period. He took a couple of cartooning correspondence courses, and by the late 20s he was drawing cartoons for magazines and local newspapers. He moved to California in 28 after winning second place in a cartoon contest, but initially he found no work, so he became a movie projectionist. And eventually he found work at Disney Studios as an apprentice animator. And then, just a couple years later, he started on the Mickey Mouse strip, as I said before, originally written by Disney himself. And I was totally unaware of him until I looked into this. And I like his style. Nice, a funny, humorous style. Yet good for storytelling. So let's take a little look inside Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that didn't sound quite right, but yeah. Here's Mickey. And with a Gottfredson illustration, or maybe someone just imitating his stuff, with Goofy and Mickey and the long neck of the dino and a goofy looking caveman in the background, considering it's a world inhabited by primarily by a variety of intelligent animals. It's funny that the cavemen are all comedic forms of Neanderthals or Homo erectus or what other hominids. Okay, and this splash page, which is basically a reversal and enlargement of a panel appearing later, but it is not an exact reproduction. It was just basically the same composition put in reverse, but it is a different drawing. Got Mickey Mouse in the land long ago. Here's Mickey arriving home from a date with Minnie, and getting ready for bed. And I hope I'm not going to have nightmares. Sure made a pig of myself because he ate too much. Not long he's sleeping, and he starts dreaming as this old man who calls himself Professor Dusty Bones, and he tells him about he's been selected to go on an adventure, yada yada yada. Says, if you agree to go on this, I said, well, sure, it's only a dream, right? Said, then in the morning when you wake up, you will find an airplane with instructions in your backyard. So Mickey, he does all that. Mickey gets up the next morning. Oh, that was a funny dream. Eats his breakfast, goes out in the backyard, and there's the airplane. Oh my gosh, he reads the instructions. It's a funny looking airplane. It's some kind of high-tech, non-existent airplane. It looks funny, and it can do stuff. So he's supposed to take a friend, gets Goofy, his friend Goofy, because he says no one else will believe me. And even Goofy has difficulty. Let me have stuff. Goofy has a hard time believing him. See, this is nice work. I really like his version of Goofy. I like because he's got a lot of character in his look. And while Goofy has a hard time believing him, he's perfectly willing to go on the adventure with him. They go and get in the plane. It's a VTOL, takes off vertically, and then they get to altitude. Supposed to put it on automatic, and because it's going to follow a radio beam, navigation beam, all on its own. They're supposed to blindfold themselves. Well, they do, Reluctantly, they do. And they go on a long voyage. They don't know where they're going until they get to a certain point. And then we have a little insertion there. And see, here got the funny stuff. It goes through the cloud and they come out covered in snow. And then the sun quickly melts it, and they're remarking on how cold it is, then how hot it is. And it goes on until the radio tells them to take off their blindfolds, take control, and they're approaching this huge volcanic island, mysterious island, and land just as the instructions. Everything is humorously drawn, but still good visual storytelling. Nice consistency on the figures. I mean, he was working for Disney, and they are known for some of the highest quality cartooning art, because they poached a lot of the best animators and cartoonists who often later left Disney to go to the others. It was a good training ground. Because from what I understand, Disney liked to get people who were talented and young, but not completely bound into their own styles yet, so that they were easily malleable into the Disney house style, which would then often carry on into their later work to some extent. And here you can see they meet Professor Dusty Bones, shows him his basically his man Friday, who is, what did he call him? Radcliffe. No, that's a different story. I forgot. Oompa. And as his butler, he's a goofy-looking Neanderthal-type caveman. Shows them to their room because they've had a long, tiring journey. Then he wakes him up in the morning and goes to wake up Mickey and said, "Where's your friend Goofy?" And I don't know, he's not there. He got up early and went out. Said, "Oh no, it's dangerous." He goes out there, and something going on with Goofy? And yep, he met the dinosaur. It's just fortunate that it's a friendly one who lives nearby, named Bronto. And he is just young and friendly and goofing around with Goofy. This is where Professor Dusty Bones, and they fixed them breakfast. And Dusty Bones, he's a funny looking character himself. And they have their breakfast, and Goofy says he's still scared of the caveman. And then we have another. There we go. And he explains. He speaks a little English. So he talks English, huh? That's different. Of course, Goofy talks funny. What he speaks could barely be qualified as English. Now he's going to show them where they are, and they're going to begin their adventure in the land of long ago. And here is basically a reversal of that splash page. And Mickey is so surprised. He sees this. It's like the scene, the revelation scene in Jurassic Park, when you first see all the dinosaurs roaming through Jurassic Park. So yes, this is a giant crater, and this is a strange land. Lost. It's basically a lost world, where the idea undoubtedly came from. But the thing about the island and stuff makes me think of the Land That Time Forgot. And now they're ready to go on their adventure. It says, "We're going to take a live dinosaur back to civilization." Yippee! That's a wow of a stunt, says Mickey. Continued next issue. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, no! Mickey! It was just getting started, and unfortunately, I don't have the last issue, so I don't know how the story ends. And that looks like the good part. I want this next part of the story with Mickey. Come on! Oh, anybody out there got one for me? Tell me what happens. Yep, and that is our Mickey Mouse story by Floyd Gottfredson. That's a heck of a name. It's a mouthful. Floyd Gottfredson. Of the very beginning of the land of long ago. And I wanted to see the rest. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little teaser of Mickey Mouse, because I've done ducks before, but I hadn't done Mickey. And yeah, everybody likes Mickey. Please like, share, subscribe. You can do that. You like me and Mickey, Mickey and Goofy, yeah. We're always fun, yeah. And like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Even comment about my terrible Mickey impersonation. I can do a better Goofy. Gosh, yeah, Mickey. What you gonna do there? What kind of critter is this? Well, stupid stuff like that. What do you think of Mickey? You don't have to comment on Disney's business practices. They're known for not being the best, but they have some good entertaining material. So thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and remember, comics are art.